Ferrer. Welcome to another episode of Cancer Tamer. As you know, our show is all about providing you with information on different aspects of cancer as well as things to do when you have it and where to go to for resources. Today, our show is all about resources that we've come across, myself as well as my co-star, Deborah Santulli-Barone, and we want to talk to you about all the different places that we've experienced, the different resources that we've got to know. And of course, there's going to be a whole plethora of other resources that are out there that we aren't able to talk to you about. But you can go to our website, www.cancertamer.org, cancertamer.org, and download your own PDF, because Deborah did an awesome list for us on different resources. So Deborah, do you want to start,
Okay.
or some of the resources that you have come across, and why are they so important?
Okay, I think first of all, as soon as you get diagnosed and you have all these questions and you're going to need help with so many things, if you're lucky enough to have a nurse navigator at your hospital where your doctors are, that's the best resource to go to talk to somebody there. If they do not have a nurse navigator like the hospital that I went to, then your next step is to speak to the social worker. Right. Which can be, has various list of resources. So the resources that I came across was, because I had so many questions, was of course American Cancer Society, American Institute for Cancer Research.
And I want to stop you there because I want to take one at a time
Okay.
as we go through this. And so in case that people don't know, the nurse navigator is the one that's supposed to help navigate us through the cancer insanity, which is my favorite catchphrase right now, the insanity of cancer. And so being able to help walk us through it, give us answers when you have a whole bunch of questions, writing these down. And so hopefully they'll be able to help you. I know my nurse navigator at one point told me, Charlie, stop asking questions, stop doing research, because of the fact that I was doing my own research. And that is the one thing that we always hear at Cancer Tamer advocate: do your own research, get as much information as possible. And so I know Deborah talked about the American Cancer Society. And so being able to know what the American Cancer Society does for you. So some people love the American Cancer Society, some people don't. I myself love the American Cancer Society because they were there for me when I first went through this craziness and first got diagnosed, and they sent a whole bunch of information to my home. They can send it to you via email, or they can send it to you hard copy. I'm old school. I want my hard copies in my hand so I can write all over them, because I write all over everything.
Booklets are good.
Yes, booklets. And there is the part of, the Cancer Society has gotten a little political, and they started deviating from just research into getting a little bit more political in their views, saying what they recommend as far as times that you should go to the doctor, or how many pap or mammographies and the time frame, instead of, what is it, one year, they went to every other year.
Yeah.
And
they changed the age.
And they changed the age, and that had everybody in an uproar, which we should be in an uproar about, because no one should make decisions for our physicians. And if we are older or even younger and have been diagnosed with some kind of illness, then you want to make sure that you have a mammography or some kind of a record of what's going on with your chest, preventive care. So the only thing that I have against the American Cancer Society is they're getting a little bit too political for my taste. But they do wonderful.
Well, they're the biggest. Maybe they were the first ones to start, but I also found what was refreshing, the American Institute of Cancer Research.
Why do you like them?
Because they're doing research. Like you kind of know where their money is going. And they were helpful for me. I turned to them first, and they sent me booklets. And when I had questions, I called. I called both up, though, when I wanted more of percentages of a risk, as I was thinking of stopping my medication. and I wanted to know the risk factor. I wanted to know numbers. And honestly, after talking to everybody, nobody really can come up with a number, exactly. And then factoring in, because I just don't have breast cancer, I have leukemia too. Yeah. What can they say? Everyone's afraid.
And the one piece that I find that's really annoying is that you have all these tests done for medication and whether or not the risk factors and how beneficial it is to you or not, but they don't do any kind of studies on individuals who don't want to take medicine anymore.
Right. And are eating healthy.
Yes,
Yeah.
who started with the medication, but then they stop the medication or they're doing a more holistic approach. Mm-hmm. And, I'm in that boat where I want to do a more holistic approach, even in combination with, traditional medicine and surgeries and stuff like that. But it is important to be able to get all those statistics. Right. Or be able to talk about where to get those. Right. So I know one of the studies that we're going to be doing, so hold on to your hats, we're going to be doing a study on women who are not taking medication or who started taking medication but aren't. Right. Because that's one of the studies that I see that is lacking.
Yeah, I haven't come across any, honestly.
That's the piece I haven't, and I know when I went and I wanted to find out, this cancer med is only going to help me 15% to decrease my recurrence. But when I read the medical reports, it said, well, somebody in my stage of cancer and in my score, the medicine didn't work well. Right. And there really wasn't no benefit. So why the hell am I taking medicine that's destroying my system to have 15% benefit when there's 85%, which the part of the doctors don't look at. Right. There's 85% chance that it doesn't recur. So why destroy my body not to? And
True.
That's a whole nother
that's
a whole nother show.
Yeah. But it depends on the person too, because you do have the right. Remember this. You have the right to make your own decision. But you really have to get a lot of information. And like I said, I couldn't find all the information, unfortunately. And so I'm still on the medication. But you have a right as your own person to decide not to take it, to stop taking it. And that's something you can do. But
and not be guilt into it.
Right. And if you do stop, then go holistic. You have to do something. You can't just stop and then live the life you always led if you're going to be eating a lot, not exercise, drinking, smoking. No, that's not going to work. But if you don't take the medicine, but you live more a holistic life or, healthier life, that might help.
And it is a choice. Right. It's one of those things, we're not advocating one way or the other. No. So please don't misunderstand what Deborah and I are saying. We recommend you always discuss it with your doctor. However, you are your final choice. You are your final authority on what you decide to do with yourself. We're going to give you some of the resources that worked for us, some of the things that have worked for us, which is what we always do in the show. Right. And so the American Cancer Society was one of them. The other one was the
American Institute
of
Cancer Research was good.
The other things that you also face as well is not only medical issues, but mental issues, financial issues. And one of the ones that I found that was really wonderful was Stomp the Monster, which I thought that was a great name.
Okay, I don't have that on my list. I like that one.
So Stomp the Monster was actually, it helps you with rent. It helps you with payments for, financial payments for electricity and things like that. They only provide you once, which there's so many people that they try to help everyone. So that's a wonderful piece to connect with. Look on the internet. We're not going to give you websites and stuff like that, but if you look on our website, on our own website, cancertamer.org, Deborah did a whole extensive list on different resources for you, so you're able to download that. Just become a member, and the downloads are free. So
Right, and member is
and
free, but
membership is free too.
if you want that.
Yeah. So a lot of things that we're coming up with. What's the other one on your list?
So Lance Armstrong Foundation, they partnered, I guess, with YMCA, and as a cancer patient, doesn't matter what kind of cancer you have, that you can get some free services, free exercising classes. I think it's a 12-week program, as far as I understand. So do contact your YMCA. You don't even have to call the Lance Armstrong Foundation. And see, we have
It's
two.
called Living Strong.
Yeah, Living Strong. We have 2 YMCAs out here, but and all over in Manhattan. Any borough, I'm sure, has it, and I'm sure other states. And,
Right,
yeah.
because we're in New York City, but they're
all over.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So I believe that they do have it all over
Yeah, I
their
would
YMCAs.
Right.
And the beauty of it is that it's 3 weeks long, and they have the no, not 3 weeks long. I'm sorry. It's about a 3-month program.
Yeah, 12 weeks.
For 90 days. So whatever that turns out to be.
You either do it right away or you
yes.
spread it out.
And so they do give you a personal trainer to work
Right.
with you, so you
Right.
don't hurt yourself.
Which
and you
is
do
ideal.
it slowly.
Yeah, because also if you opted to take medication and you're on an estrogen blocker, which can hurt your bones, the personal trainer will help you to train you so that you know what exercises will strengthen your bones. And usually before you go on medication, you will have a bone density test. And this way they can compare a year later. Now, I exercised for the first year, and my bone density was better than the first time. Now this year, I'm hoping it's the same, but anything helps. And if it's a free service, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? And it's a wonderful way of getting into shape and starting a new way of looking at your life.
Right.
There's also, I think they also help you with a little bit of nutrition. I'm not sure on that one.
Because that's a hard call when you're trying to figure out what to eat. If you've gone from eating just anything to trying to figure out your fats, your proteins, your meats and your dairy and whatnot, that there are other associations, of
Yes.
course, too. Actually, Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, they can help you too. But even the cancer societies.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ones. One of the fun ones that I had was the Diva for a Day.
Oh, yes.
And we actually did a show with Diva for the Day because I was nominated for to be a diva, and Diva for the Day Foundation actually allows women to have this wonderful day. They work with organizations in the community, not just in New York City, but all over the U.S. And so they set it up to where you can go and have a spa day and have your hair done and your nails done and
Massage.
and your foo-foo massage.
Yes. Facials, makeup application, I mean the whole
Yeah.
works. Lunch. And also flowers, a beautiful bouquet of flowers. So I was a
Yes.
diva too, and so was Charlie.
Yes, and they're wonderful. The women that created this did a wonderful part of bringing other communities together, other companies
Right,
together.
and salons and
Salons
spas.
will do it. So if you're a salon and would like to participate in this program, contact Diva for a Day Foundation, because there's so many women that are divas, and it's a wonderful way of recognizing them.
Definitely. The only thing is that it has to be a full-service spa so that they can do the hair, the makeup, the massage, the pedicures, the manicures, because there
The
were
whole
a few that
thing.
weren't. Yeah,
And
the whole
you don't
works.
and you don't have to wait until you are an organization. You can take a friend
Right,
and just give them that day.
right. That's
So
true.
that's a wonderful way of doing it.
We have Share. There's a organization called Share where they have webinars, right? Is that what they call those,
I think so.
webinars? And they also have outreach programs. They have support systems and support groups. And they also have a Latino Share so that you can hear these services or get these services in Spanish, which would help you. And even I think in Chinese. So check it out. It's capital SHARE. You can find it on their website.
Yeah. And it's the idea of finding different organizations. One of the things that I find is that you get a bit overwhelmed with everything that's being thrown at you. And these are wonderful organizations that can help with that. That they can assign someone to you, or that you can join with your family as well. So one of the ones that I wanted to talk about was Gilda's Club, because they have workshops for the individuals going through cancer and their families.
Oh, okay. So the caregiver.
They do help with that.
Oh, that's good.
And those are out of New York City. I don't know if Gilda's Club is anywhere else, but I do know that they're in New York City, and they're wonderful. They're a wonderful organization.
Right, that's true. I also found out at Memorial Sloan Kettering that they also have art programs, so that not only to, I guess, put your feelings and emotions into artwork. It's not just about, oh, let me paint a picture. It's more about what you feel inside and how you bring it out on the canvas. I believe they also have writing courses there too, so that if you want to write what you feel, and that's always very important. It's very cathartic and can help you in so many ways. So there are services out there.
And part of the things that we're going to be doing with the Cancer Tamer Foundation, because we're also a foundation now, and
yay! Congratulations, Charlie.
you.
You worked hard for it.
So Cancer Tamer Foundation is a 501c3, and one of the things that we're going to be doing, a lot of the things that we're doing, is on education, on workshops for women to be able to feel comfortable with themselves, with their bodies, be able to do some journaling, do some writing, so that you can write your own story. And we're looking at helping women publish their own stories, so that's like a little bit more into the future. But it is finding the program that works best for you.
Right.
Because that's the important piece. You might paint better and be able to do that, or you might write and be able to do that, or play the piano, or learn how to play the piano in case you don't know how to play the piano. It's just a way of keeping your sanity.
Right.
Because I think that's the important piece when we're going through all of this. The insanity that comes along with it.
Well, there's a lot of stress.
Is so stressful.
Right.
Plus, the medicine that we're on gets to where you can't function, or you get that fog happening.
You can't think sometimes. There are times I notice, even, I go on the computer to do certain things, and I'm not focusing, and I'm actually getting a headache, and I have to back away and stay away from the computer for a day. And it's very frustrating, because the next day I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to do on the computer, but who needs that? But,
or like happened to me today, I went all the way to the mall, and then I couldn't remember why I was at the mall, so I left. And
I know, right?
It wasn't until you said, oh, well, you got the new makeup.
Sometimes you have to, like she does, she texts herself to remind her of things. I think that's a great idea.
Text myself all the time.
That's really good. And also, also the people that, if you have people in your life that are trying to take care of you, there is a National Cancer Institute office for cancer survivors, and the people that take care of them.
Your caregivers.
Also, there's National Cancer Survivors Day Foundation. We actually went to a breakfast last year in Staten Island, and that was really nice to see a lot of the survivors and to talk about it.
And the person who won that bike. You better be using it, or you better give it to me. Because I love that bicycle. There was a bicycle that was out being raffled. And a woman won, and my joke to her husband was, I'm going to follow them home and then take it from them. But I really want a bicycle of my own. And it's the old-fashioned one. It's not that speedster,
Right, it has the little basket.
It has the little basket.
If you recall, was it of ours where the witch was riding on it?
Trying to call me a witch? But that also leads us right into the Young Survivors Coalition, which the Young Survivors Coalition is more towards helping younger women.
Right.
And the way that I found them was they have the Tour de Pink, which I thought was so cute. And they have the bicycle tours, and they have, I think it's 2 a year that they then produce. One is in Atlanta, I think, and the other one's going to be in New York, New Jersey in October. And so it's a wonderful way of being able to go and see the scenery and ride your bicycle. And from my understanding, when I was talking to them, it's like a 10-mile or so, but they have the trucks that ride along with you. So if you get exhausted after a mile or so, like me,
What
you
is
get
the truck drag you? Does the truck drag you?
No, you put your bicycle on the
okay.
truck, and then you can ride
with them.
to the next checkpoint.
Okay.
And then at the checkpoint, you have rest stations. So if you're gung-ho and you can go the whole
10
you know,
miles.
10, 30 miles, whatever it is, then you can do that. But if you're going a little bit slower, a little slower pace, then you can do that as well. So make sure that you contact them either under Tour de Pink or Young Survivors Coalition.
Okay. Also, there are magazines for free for cancer patients. Actually, the one I get is Cure magazine. That's CURE. It's a free subscription. You can go online and they'll ask you, what kind of cancer you have, how long you've had it. But they're a very good resource and a lot of information. When I research things to talk about on the show, I get a lot of it from the Cure magazine. I think it's amazing.
Which is excellent. It is one of those pieces. We're going to do a whole show on books and resources from that perspective in another show. But it is looking up and getting connected with the internet. I mean, I tell people and I warn you, be careful with what's on the internet because a lot of it, not just about cancer, but anything in general, is junk.
Right.
And it's people trying to sell you things, and it's, you get through it. I know my first foyer into the internet after I got diagnosed, a friend of mine had sent me a clip on, go to this website. It's supposed to be so great. The website had me in terror because it told me I was going to be dead in 2 years, and that the doctors were lying to me, and that if I took their medication, and it wasn't medication, but it was their
like supplements?
Their supplements.
Oh, okay.
And if I took their supplements, just $69.99 for a 3-month supply, and then after that it was $70 supplements, that I would live longer.
Yeah,
and so be very careful with that, as well as make sure that the internet the internet website that you're going to is from an organization that is well known or researched. So look at that. There are programs. One of the other great resources, and we had a show on legal issues with Joe Incelero. And so there's a program called the CAP program, C-A-P, Cancers Advocacy Program, which helps you make your wills and make power of attorneys and do home healthcare proxies and stuff like that.
And that's free?
And it's free.
Oh, okay.
It is totally free.
That's good
so
to know.
you go through the bar association or your local councilwoman. So
when you said bar, I went to the bar.
Not that bar, the other bar.
I missed it.
But I know here on Staten Island also Councilwoman Debbie Rose has a program to help you do a basic will for free.
Really?
And she works with a legal firm that comes in and does it for you for free. I mean, you're not going to get the Donald Trump's will, but you will get a will made, and they'll notarize it for you there, and that's wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
Big kudos to Councilwoman Debbie Rose.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. That's really good. And then there's so many financial resources too to look at, which I'm sure a lot of people know. The GoFundMe, of course. There's Cancer Financial Assistance Coalition, and even like the societies, like leukemia and lymphoma societies. You should ask them. There's also, let's say you take medication and it's very expensive. There's a website, Needy Meds, or you can look at the pharmaceutical company that makes your medicine, and they usually have patient assistant programs where they help you financially. Do not be embarrassed. You are your own advocate. There's also Patient Access Network Foundation, PAN. So check those all out.
Right. Other places that you can look for financial assistance is in your own community. There are lots of organizations. If you don't know which ones they are, then talk to your social worker at the hospital who can do that. One organization that I want to give a big, thank you to and big props and kudos to is a veterans organization here on Staten Island called Rolling Thunder. And they are wonderful. They actually helped me get my car back and keep my sanity when my car's engine blew. So these are organizations that you can help. Rolling Thunder is actually for veterans. So you must be a veteran or be I don't want to say related to a veteran, but be a veteran family member to be able to do that. But contact them. They're Rolling Thunder International. There's a chapter here in Staten Island. There's also chapters in different communities. So you can do that. We talk a lot about organizations that are able to help patients in general, but if you're a veteran, if you've served in the U.S., regardless of when you served, make sure you talk to the VA and see what opportunities are there for you, what services are available for you, even if you left the service 30 years ago.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that idea. There's also like patient advocate foundations because maybe you can't speak up or you're too weak to go fight for certain things that you want. They will do that for you. There's the Pink Brown Foundation that might be able to help you with the rent and electric bills. There's also even, if you're over 55, the National Coalition for Aging that can help you with heating bills, taxes in your house, the STAR program. You don't have to be a cancer patient, but or HEAP, HEAP is Assistance for your electric bills. So there's a lot out there.
Yeah, and you can also contact the Human Resource Association to get assistance. It's nothing wrong with you needing assistance while you're going through this, because a lot of the times you're losing time from work and you need assistance. So contact your government agencies, talk to them about different programs that they may be able to help you with. SNAP program is a temporary assistance with food. So that's something that's really important. And even if they give you $194 for a single person right now, that's $194 that you don't need to worry about to be able to get food. So look at all those programs. And there's also a program if you contact Con Ed. Con Ed is New York City's electric. So contact your electric company in your area, because we're on the internet and everywhere else, so you may not be in New York City when you're viewing this, but contact other places in your vicinity, your church, your friends, your family might be. You can try and take out a loan, things like that will be able to help you. There's so many opportunities out there, so many ways of getting assistance. I want to invite you to our website, www.cancertamer.org, to get more information. You'll be able to get this wonderful PDF that Deborah put together for us. There's about 100 resources on it, and take a look. So I'm Dr. Charlie Ferrer.
I'm Deborah Santulli-Barone.
Thank you for watching Cancer Tamer.